One. One. I can't even get my coat off. How you doing, baby? Happy. What's today? Tuesday. And today on Coffee and Conversation with your girl, Shakenya. When you get a minute, go to that YouTube channel, Shakenya, and hit subscribe, guys. Look at some of the videos. And if you see anything that you like, just hit share, please. Thank you. I'll be with y'all in just a moment. Everything is in a little disarray. I ain't been here since the last time you probably sent me here. So I had a couple of things going on here. Let me flip you around. Hey, Tia, good morning. Hey, Carnell, how you doing, sir? Good morning. Okay, y'all, wait. Let me get that other phone. Let me go get the other phone. Wait a minute. I know it's a mess. Don't judge me. All right, TikTok. We in the building. We're in the building, people. So how y'all doing today? Yeah, we're getting settled in. Get settled in. Go on, get settled in. You was checking for me? I know you was looking at that time. Shit, you know, after 12 o'clock, it's a wrap. It's a wrap, but I'm here. Hey, John Drama, good morning, sir. Thank you for joining us. So, y'all, I'm going to keep it real quick for you. First of all, I'm venting today because this ain't part of it. I know I done talked about this before, but it's definitely going to be talked about today. Moms who don't have dads in these children's lives, especially these little boys. What are some of the things that you are teaching them is what I'm about to jump on and talk about first before we jump back into the psychological damage. Hey, Kay, good morning, baby. Are you teaching your little boys to be gentlemen? Because, you know, a woman can't raise a boy to be a man, but it's certain things that you can do and try to enforce and make sure that they kind of got, right? One of them is just being a gentleman. I'm getting out the car. Getting to the car, first of all, I got my briefcase. I got that big box you seen, that printer, right? And I'm carrying it, trying to get into this vehicle, right? It's 3 men outside working. Do you know now neither one of these men offered? Now, I know they working, I do. But just from my doorstep to where they was working, it wouldn't have took too much time for them to offer some type of assistance, right? 3 men. Now, they breaking their neck to speak to me because I'm fine as hell, and I get that. But for the most part, ain't never one of them brothers took the time to come in. So it just made me write a couple things down in the vehicle. Because I just want to know. So, are you teaching your sons to open doors? Of course. Are you teaching your boys to walk on the outside of the young lady when they're walking? Outside of the curb. Are you teaching them to automatically get out the car and pump gas if they are the only man in the car or the oldest male in the car per se and able and healthy? Do you teach them to get out the car and pump the gas? And do you teach them to automatically get out and start carrying bags? If they're at the grocery store, if they're somewhere where there's a lady alone hustling and bustling trying to carry bags, is it in them to just get out their car and offer assistance? I know we've been through the pandemic. It was a little hasty to walk up to people in the mask and all that. But now everybody's probably, well, shit, we got another pandemic, something going on now, another ailment they say going on. But you know what I'm talking about. I'm kind of cautious about walking up to people. But for the most part, being a gentleman, are you teaching them to do that? It's a bonus one. You might not be teaching them to do this, and I'm not going to encourage it. But if they are in an establishment or if they're in a place and there are other young men or people that's kind of up in the uproar cussing, do you teach your young men to say something? I know nowadays it's crazy. You got to pick and choose. Even me, I pick and choose when I do say something. But at some point, you got to teach your children to stand up for what's right. Right? So if they see something going on, you might have to say something. You know, if you see somebody acting unruly, hey, because it's a way to say something to people. You can say whatever you want to say. It's just how you say it. I'm a firm believer in that. I'm a firm believer in that. I don't just be rah-rah when I walk up to people and ask them if they can stop cussing because we got elderly people in the house or we got children in the house. I've walked up to people and asked that. I've asked if they can turn the music down because the music was vulgar and it was too much for the older people or the children to take. Yeah, but it's a way to say that to people without being disrespectful or making it seem like you making them do something. So those were a couple of things that I wanted to ask. And then I wanted to piggyback off yesterday. Yesterday, we talked about the psychological damage of the children. Talked about the psychological damage of the parent. We just talked about psychological damage all over the place. Yeah, because we talked about for your situation to be the way that it is. You might be in a situation where you don't have a relationship with your child at all. The baby mama just stopped bringing the baby over. You can't see your baby, and that was the end of it. That's all it takes nowadays. You can't see your baby. Like in my case, he told me years ago he was going to get his baby. He said, I'm going to get my baby. We don't need you. And as of today, he got his baby and she don't need me. So therefore, you got to be careful. That should be something that you put down on your clues when you go through your list and when you go through your board of your suspects of who poisoning your baby. When you get to your clues, you should be able to put some stuff there. Yeah, up under the people that you feel might have done some of the things that they did. So that's something that I got on my board up under the baby daddy. When it comes to looking at who did it, yeah, he under it because he said it. That was a threat that he gave. It took him 15 and a half years to fulfill that threat, but in all actuality, he did. He fulfilled that threat. So, yep, that should be on your board. And any threats that your baby mama or your baby daddy has made, I know that sounds crazy to even say because y'all used to be together. y'all don't see each other in nudity. Y'all done been intimate with one another. You know what I'm saying? So it's like to even think that it would get to this extreme after the breakup is ridiculous to me. You know what I mean? So it happens. And I'm here to let you know that it happens. And I'm here to let you know to pay attention to some of these things within your child and your baby mama and your baby daddy so you'll be ahead of the game, right? I know, it's like war. When you challenged by your baby mama, your baby daddy, it's actually war. So these things that I tell you either gonna help you stay above or up under. Or it's gonna stay ahead of the game, or you're gonna fall short and you're gonna miss out on something. So I'm just trying to help you. So yesterday we talked about some of the things that could have happened for my relationship to be the way that it is with my child. And for my other children to have the type of relationship that, yeah, a lot of things would have had to happen for that to be. Right? The way we would have had to have treated the child, for the child to have an automatic disconnect, the way I would have had to take care of her, or things that I would have had to do to her, for her to have hatred for me. Yeah, you don't have hatred for your mama and your daddy. It ain't nothing that your mama and daddy could have done. It's nothing that I could have done that I could have been forgiven for. It's nothing that I was doing that he couldn't, as a father, could have talked to me about. Nothing could have been done to make sure I'm still a part of her life. Like, that is beyond me. Because I help couples in my office daily work through issues, get through it, be a mother, be a daddy, work together, co-parent. And you mean to tell me my own baby daddy couldn't have found a way to make it work so that I can be a part of her life for 5 years? Nothing? Not even a call from him? Come on now. When she was living with me, I called him and texted him daily, whether he answered the phone or not. Any certificate, any award she got that came to my door, I made copies and gave to him. Anytime I took her somewhere and it was somewhere risky, like when we doing a jail tour, if I'm riding her on my motorcycle, or if we in the school, anywhere, I would text him, even when he didn't respond. So you mean to tell me for 5 years, no call from him? Come on now, fix it, Jesus. Fix it, Jesus. So today, all the people that's guilty by association, meaning people that's in his camp, his relatives, his friends, people that knew you when, right? None of them asked me nothing. None of them came to my rescue. None of them defended me. So for any of these people to feel a certain kind of way about me, every time they seen me, I would have had to be drunk or under the influence of something, right? Every time they seen me, I would have had to be dirty, disheveled, always in a disarray, right? Always struggling, always looking like I struggle or something to that effect, right? In order for these people to side with him and not have no questions for me and all okay with the fact that she's being raised and growing up without a mom, people that knew me now, They would have had to see me in this state every time. They would have had to see mental health issues. They would have had to see me struggling in that aspect. They would have had to see, but no. They would have had to see me being disruptive. I've had a history of going over there, damaging the house, busting the windows, jumping on the wife, beating up the mama. I would have loved to have beat the mama. But fighting him all the time, making her. They would have had to have seen a history of this for these people to be okay with it. Right? But actually, it was the complete opposite. Every time these people seen me, I was looking just like this. Always dressed professional. Always looking good. Always smelling good. Always. Never drunk. Never under the influence. I rarely drink. Don't smoke. Don't do dope. Yeah, maybe a little tree. But nothing to the effect of you seeing me in a disarray or seeing me. No. Never. Never. For her friends' parents not to come and say something to me. That's alarming. Because the only time they saw me was picking her up from school, dropping them off from school, taking them to practice, picking them up for practice, attending some of the games. Never under the influence. Nothing to the... And then some occasions when I dropped their children off because they weren't able to take them home. So I dropped the children. Like, at some point, they would have had to, too, see me in these states for them to be on board with it. So you gotta know, what is the narrative? What is it that these people know that I don't know? Because for me to be in this situation, counted out, no relationship, no nothing from none of these people that knew me. A couple of them worked with me on the youth program. Fix it, Jesus. How could I be so unfit if I have a youth program? Oh, this is my wall. These are... Yeah, we don't want to leave nothing out. Yeah, I'm the person. This is coffee and conversation. I'm the mom. I'm the mom that don't have a relationship with her child because I'm not doing something right, or I have done something so devastating and tragic to where this was the best thing that people thought and felt and made it so. Right? So yeah, we just uncovering the psychological damage, because for people to be turned and for people to feel a certain kind of way about me and to be on board, they would have had to have seen me in these states. So for them not to, and for them to be okay, what do they know? Because my situation, I've already been tried. I've already been convicted. Yeah, of something. And I still don't even know what I did. Fix it, Jesus. Fix it, Jesus. Did you hear what I said? I've already been charged. I've already been tried and convicted. I've already been given a sentence by the jury of my peers. Do you understand what I'm saying? And I don't even know what I've done. And don't nobody think that that's terrible. Don't nobody think that that's bad. Don't know. Everybody's okay and on board with this, right? So, yeah, you got to understand where you stand with your baby mama and your baby daddy. Yep, I encourage you to be the best of friends, because if anybody can take you down, they can. It's very important y'all get on the same page. It's very important that everybody that's involved in that baby's life is like in a tight circle. There should never be any division. There should never be tug of war. There should never be baby gotta pick sides. It should never be. Never be. Both of y'all, everybody has a role in that baby's life. There is no way I should have been canceled out and I'm her mom. I brought her here. If anybody would have had jurisdiction, if anybody would have had the power, it should have been me, the mom. How, in what world do you live in that it's okay to cancel out somebody's mama? How often do you hear that? How often do you hear that? Anytime a child goes, usually the custody goes to the mom. When y'all break up, divorce, children usually live with the mom. Usually if you go to court, custody's going to be granted to the mom. Usually, it's usually the mom. In most cases, it's the mom. And usually it's by right. And it's supposed to be that way, right? So you think to yourself, how many people do you know are in a situation like mine, where a father felt like what I was doing was not enough, and he went so far to disconnect this child from a whole family without any of these things we discussed today or yesterday happening or taking place that will cause a father to do something like that. Yeah, so wake up. Follow my YouTube channel, Shakenya. Look at some of the videos. Y'all test is coming up soon, guys. So enjoy y'all day. It's Tuesday. I don't know. I'm out. Mwah. Yeah, I'm about to hook this internet up. I had to get a Roku stick.